Welcome back to Stateside Veterans. I'm Randy, and I appreciate you being here today. Take a quick minute and hit the like and subscribe button. Help me to get this information out to the veteran community. By liking and subscribing, you're going to improve YouTube's algorithm and get the word out. Veterans, the Supreme Court has ruled in your favor. This article and this information dropped a couple of weeks ago from the Supreme Court, but it has not received nearly enough circulation and press time for the veteran community. So I want to go through a little bit of this with you today, and we can talk through it. This is an article I'm going to read through by Leo Shane III. A lot of you read some of his material that he puts out. I'm going to read just a few paragraphs here, and then we're going to talk about it. The Supreme Court ruled on Tuesday in favor of a veteran who unsuccessfully tried to use both his post 9/11 GI Bill and Montgomery GI Bill benefits, saying that the Veteran Affairs officials erred in limiting his educational support. This 7-2 decision could have far-reaching impact on student veterans who use their VA benefits, but still wish to continue degree programs. Lawyers for the plaintiff have estimated that as many as 1.7 million veterans nationwide could benefit from the ruling, but federal officials have estimated the number to be less than 30,000. I'm not sure how you get two different numbers that are that far apart, but that's where they're at. The fight centered on Jim Rudsell, a 43-year-old Army veteran who was wounded in a roadside bomb attack in Iraq in 2005. Rudsell used all of his post 9/11 GI Bill benefits shortly thereafter, but later wanted to tap into his unused Montgomery GI Bill benefits to attend the Yale Divinity School as part of the process to become an Army chaplain. When VA officials denied the move, Rudsell sued, claiming that they were unfairly limiting his options. Writing for the majority, Justice Brown Jackson called the government's denial nonsensical and reversed the lower court's ruling supporting the VA's position. So let's time travel here, guys. I joined the military back in January of 2001. This is before 9/11, and the option at the time was a buy-in Montgomery GI Bill. And as I recall, you could pay $100 out of your paycheck for the first 12 months, and that vested you, along with a few other terms and conditions, into the Montgomery GI Bill. Unfortunately, 9/11 happened, and along came the post 9/11 GI Bill. Now, most people agree that the post 9/11 GI Bill is a far more generous benefit. There are a few limited cases where the Montgomery GI Bill still pays a little bit more. But for the vast majority of us, the post 9/11 GI Bill was a more generous benefit. But the question came to mind. I paid $100 into the Montgomery GI Bill, and now we have a post 9/11 GI Bill that is earn-in only. What happened to my $100 a month for 12 months? Life happened. I didn't think a whole lot about it. I was affirmatively opted into the post 9/11 GI Bill. I did not opt to go back to the Montgomery version, and life happened. But this question came up for a lot of veterans. I paid for a version of the GI Bill through money and some other terms and conditions, and now this earn-in version, which is essentially a educational benefit that is yours merely through the act of service, with some terms and conditions also, is now taking it over. So what happened to my money? That's what Mr. Rudsell brought to the attention of the VA. They said, no, it is what it is. He challenged it in court. It went through the ladder of the judiciary, eventually ending up in the Supreme Court, and they ruled in our favor. This is pretty substantial, folks, because this offers up an additional possibly 12 months of educational benefit to those of you who have exhausted your post 9/11 GI Bill. That's a big number out there. I'm going to put it on the thumbnail so you can see what that adds up to you, but it's pretty significant. The ruling essentially threw the case back to the VA and said, hey, this policy has been implemented incorrectly for the last 23, 24 years. You guys need to take this back and figure out how to make right with all the veterans affected by this. I don't even know where to start, right? You've got to figure out A, who's affected, B, do some accounting and figure out what they're owed, C, figure out how to fund it, and on and on and on, right? So this is going to take a while for the VA to figure out. There's some things that we can do as a veteran community to kind of move this along. Because one, I think this ruling's great. I think it was a just ruling, and I think it's going to benefit a lot of veterans like you and me. Use your veteran service organizations, guys. So, think VFW, think American Legion, think DAV, name them all, right? There's a lot of great veteran service organizations out there. Almost all of them do good work on our behalf. So don't be hesitant to raise your voice and chat with them and let them know how you feel about this Supreme Court ruling and how we think the new policy needs to be rolled out from Mr. McDonough over at the VA. So there's that. The other option is contact your legislatures, your senators, your representatives. I think that there may be some follow-on legislation after this because we've now had a policy that's essentially been screwed up for the last 23 years. And Congress may take note of this ruling and decide that they need to clarify their legislation and make things crystal clear for the VA. So don't be afraid to contact your elected representatives and let them know that you've got feelings on this and you want to see the entire benefit package that you've earned become available to you. It's going to be a while before there's additional information on this. It's going to go back to the VA, which, does a lot of good things, but is a large federal bureaucracy. So I think it's going to take some time, but stay tuned to this channel. I'll provide updates as they come along. If you could do me a favor, send along a link. If you know other veterans that this might apply to, don't hesitate to send them along a link to this channel. I'm going to provide updates as they unfold and keep you up to speed so you can capture all the benefits that you've rightly earned. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, help me get the word out, and we'll talk to you soon.